It seems like I always have fun guests on the show, but
Yeah.
this is another fun one because, we work together, but in separate companies. We had a little feud, a fun feud for a little while.
Sure.
Well, I'm sure we'll talk about when he stole my Hummer, but I got Blake Rapert with me. I can't even say your last name. I've known you 10 years almost. But
Rapper,
Blake, thanks for joining me. I'm glad you accepted my invitation.
Absolutely.
Still talk to me. That's a plus.
Absolutely, man. I couldn't wait. As soon as I saw you were doing this, I was like, oh, I'm going on that. I think I told you the other day, we might have to do multiple parts here.
Yeah, this could be like The Last Dance. I mean, it really could be. We could do segments.
Yeah.
I think you have been the only arena staff that I've ever taken on a road trip with us too.
Oh, dude, that was a great trip. We got to get it.
So walk everyone through kind of your background so everybody gets kind of a little background info.
Yeah, for sure. Well, born and raised St. Charles, Missouri. There's a little 10,000 seat arena about 25, 30 minutes west of downtown St. Louis. It's called the Family Arena. I started out there when I was 13 years old as a stick boy, which is just a glorified water boy. Would go on the trips on my winter breaks with the hockey team and pull off, shoe pranks on the hockey players to all that. Just water boy, just being taken on the road, staying with the fighter to make sure that he didn't go out and party the night before. And just, I got stories for days there, but,
you were allowed to travel with the team as a kid?
They just,
damn, what league was this?
It was the UHL. It's no longer around. But,
there you go. It's like 13-year-olds traveling with professional. Yeah. And I know what these guys do on the road. So.
Oh, dude, crazy stuff. I mean, the coach would be like, "Hey, I'd be put with the goon basically, and the coach would be like, "You tell me if he's not in his room by 10 o'clock at night." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, coach."
Yeah.
And then
you ain't gonna say nothing. You're getting your ass beat.
Yeah, he's like, "Listen, I know you're supposed to watch me, but there's going to be a real problem if you rat me out." So which makes that real clear. So anyway, no, then when I turned 16, I wanted to be in guest services and just be like an usher or ticket taker. And I was on a tour of the arena with the manager, and I walked in the kitchen, and the chef, Tim Hull, who you're familiar with,
good old Tim.
Said, "Oh yeah, good old Tim." Said, "Wait, is that the kid from downstairs?" And the guy is named Rob. He's like, "Yeah, that's him." He's like, "He's mine. Thanks for doing the paperwork." And so started out in the kitchen. Started as a dishwasher. Went through high school, college, as working my way up through there. Became a sous chef underneath him. Graduated college and took over the concessions and warehouse. And that's where we met. My final role there was the food and beverage director. I can say director. But then after that, I took a job with Heartland Coca-Cola, and that's where I'm at now, which is just a bottler for Coca-Cola here in St. Louis.
So we met from when I brought arena football and indoor soccer there. I thought you still were the hockey stick guy. Like, just, I was like, what's this kid do back here?
I was a rink rat. I lived there. And I got a girlfriend and got married, and I found out there was life outside of the arena industry.
I feel like I don't even know you now. It's like, what happened, man? Now you have kids. You're just, where's that crazy Blake at? Is he still there? Or
he's there.
How many kids?
2 now. 2.
Okay.
Yep.
Leo was like, I can't remember. He might have 3 now. I was like, man, they're putting them out quick.
Don't wish that evil on me.
You notice we stopped at 2.
Yeah, that's what
AJ, he was birth control. It's like, we can't have another crazy one like that.
Yeah, I always tell my friends and family, I'm like, she can have more with her next husband.
No, but that's good though. It's good to see. I mean, I want to, take credit if you're a good parent. If you're not, then we'll blame it on something else. But, I allowed you to watch my kids for like, the weekend or whatever. I think when Lee and I went on a road trip or something.
Yeah.
And it sucks because they talk about how awesome it was, like how awesome Blake is. And I was like, well, dude, your dad is cool. Your dad does cool stuff too.
Not at all. Not at all.
no matter what I do, I cannot hit that cool card with them.
Yeah.
And I'm
No,
like,
you
dude,
got
I'm the
great
coolest
kids,
parent
man.
out there.
Yeah. No, I'll give you that. You are definitely a fun guy. I definitely enjoyed all of our time together. It was a lot of fun, a lot of mischief. And but no, you got a great family. Natira, AJ, Leah, and
So what was at the arena before? Like, what were you working on before I brought the two teams there?
so, man, the arena people might hate me for it, but the arena was kind of like the
Wasn't
ambush
much
had
going
kind of
on?
like there wasn't much going on. There really
Huh.
wasn't. Just Christian concerts, tribute bands. It was a very small lineup of stuff. We should have like a little graveyard out front of all the like sports teams that went there and tried to make it work and it didn't. But you know, the sports you brought on, football, that worked really well. The soccer still going strong. You know, that was the ambush were around back when I was a kid, 90s and 2000s, I believe, and they went away for a while. And then when you revived it, I mean, there was such great attention to that. People were drawn to it. You had some great turnouts. And I think the Ambush are still doing well for themselves. St. Louis is a very tough market. You know, our sports teams around here are, you know, we got the Cardinals, the Blues, we did have the Rams. Like those tickets were affordable tickets. So people, you know, it wasn't like when you're going to Yankees or Boston where you got to, you know, splurge and spend a ton of money to just go to a game. You can afford to go to multiple games a year here in St. Louis. So it's tough for the sports teams, local, the minor leagues to be competitive, you know.
How do you think, like, what do you think we did that helped us? I mean, I was telling you offline is like the probably like the most fun I've had in my life was those first 2 years there.
Well, I'll take
You
credit
know?
for that. That was all me.
Yeah.
But
Well, it was
no,
definitely all you.
yeah, no. I think honestly, social media, you guys did a fantastic job of being engaged. I mean, you guys, truly, you know, I love ragging you, but I also got to give you credit for just you were innovative. You know, you guys grassrooted it. You know, you went out to every single soccer youth program and had tents and giveaways and really like created a buzz for yourself. You know what I mean? Like you guys had the theme nights from the mascot nights, I believe Star Wars nights, things like that. Like you guys really did a good job. The alumni games, things like that. You guys really grassrooted it and built it up and created your own self buzz. You know, you just did it right on social media and engaged. I think you as an engaged owner really got out there. You would go back and forth with fans in a fun way. I do notice you haven't had any referees on this show.
Oof. I'll tell you what, though, I've grown up. I've grown up. Okay. Like, I want to say that, you know, maybe when I hit 40, I'm 41 now, maybe I've mellowed out a little. But yeah, I haven't gotten fined by any leagues in the past 2 years.
Wow.
Haven't been thrown out of any games. No yellow cards.
That's great.
So no, but I also I think we also had, you know, Brian Roth.
Oh, hands down.
And
Legend.
you know, he is Hall of Fame. You know, this kid knows everything about every game ever played in indoor soccer. He is, you know, another person like family. Sometimes you still want to punch him though, because he just has all this useless knowledge that
oh my god, all the days
that comes up.
When am I gonna sell Doc Pop? When are you gonna sell Doc Pop?
Yeah, why don't you sell Diet Dr. Pepper, man?
Oh my god, because we could only do it in the markets for Pepsi and Coke. They could only do a fountain, and we were always bottles.
Oh, that's right, because that's not.
So, yeah, but no, I mean honestly, like he would put out the, you know, this day in history stuff, which my parents, they went to the Steamers games, which is before the ambush and things like that, so they remembered it. So it would be like, man, that was an amazing time. Like, you want to bring my kids out there, you know? So that stuff. I mean, it was a little small. You know, I wasn't on the budget side of things, but I don't feel like it was a ton of money spent out on there. But it was just meaningful stuff that you guys did.
I think we just, you know, everyone says, "Oh, we're going to be part of the community," but I think we really we did. I mean, I know myself and my family was out there. You know, they all were upset with me because I'd make them do everything. But I think that definitely helped out. And I remember, so our first year there was our first season was the football season. And then at the end of the football season is when I moved up there because I was living in Florida at the time. And then, you know, we launched the ambush. I think we announced it in June for a November start. And I just remember though, like I had this chip on my shoulder because of this hockey team. And I was like so pissy about it. The St. Charles Chill.
Yeah.
And mainly because it's like when they decided to come, it's like we became the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
And it's like, it was all about them because they had 35 games or whatever. We are only playing 13 for soccer and 7 to 10 for football. And it bothered me. And I think I even reached out to them because, I mean, you know me, I want to work with everyone. I think there's benefits in cross promoting and in trying to help each other out. And these guys just kind of, you know, said F off. I mean, really, I mean, they didn't say that, but they didn't really engage or want to get involved. And so I remember that really fired me up going into the season.
Think that is another factor that really made you successful here was because, you know, being on the arena side, you were, you know, and I know, like we were saying earlier, the arena didn't have a whole lot going on. So hearing them getting 35 dates, they were just,
oh yeah, jacked up.
8 teams, that's it. You know, now the GM at the time was like, I don't got to do anything. You know, I got 35 games from them.
Did he do anything anyway?
No. My year's booked, you know.
Right.
But, yeah, no, I think that put a fire into you, and I think that was a good fire because you took it places that I don't even think you really saw it going. I think you were just kind of wanting to get to a certain point, but then it was like you're hitting that gas pedal.
I just remember that I move up there at the end of May. It's like a tornado rips through the area that weekend. But I just remember getting to about August and being stressed out of my mind. Like, holy shit, I've got a lot of money I got to raise. And the league talked me into buying a second team. So I had a second team I was launching at the same time in another market. And I just remember our revenues. It was like, man, And then like at the end of August, September, it's like everything that we've been working on just started hitting. And, you know, it was fun. But I remember like we would have to I think at least maybe it was only once, but I thought it was multiple times where we would play like a noon game and then the hockey team would play 7:00.
Yeah. Crazy.
And what really just infuriated me is because they would have a few hundred fans. We would have, you know, thousands. And it's like, I always felt like we never got the respect. Yeah. And I always kind of feel that way with most arenas. It's like, we're always, whether it's arena football, soccer, whatever, we're always kind of that redheaded stepchild. Like, don't bother us. Don't, you know, do this or that. And I'm a needy owner, you know, and I mean,
that's an understatement. When are we going to do free hot dogs? Everyone that comes to the game should get a free hot dog.
I mean, why are we not doing corn dogs, man? Corn dogs, Jackie. Come on.
Yes. No, I think it's important. I think we should touch on like why the Chill failed, you know, from a standpoint of they only I don't remember the exact timeline, but it was like they announced that they were bringing a team to St. Charles, and it was like 5 months later they were starting. Like they should taken that full season off and promoted themselves.
Yeah, they announced in August of 12 because we did as well for football.
That's right.
Okay, but then they didn't play until the fall of 13. And so they had over a year, but they didn't hire anybody for like
that's right. I had
8 months or something. It was like there was nobody doing anything.
Yeah, there was they tried so much, and they had just the I don't know who they were putting in charge there, but they went through like 4 or 5 people right at the beginning. They couldn't keep staff, or I don't know if it was like budget restraints, but like they were the breadwinner on the outside, like looking in. But it was like, why? What are they doing? They're not like they had a whole year, but you never heard their names. You know what I mean? Like they didn't promote, they didn't go out, and youth hockey in St. Louis is huge, but they weren't out beating the streets and making it known. You know, I think that was a big mistake for them. Big mistake.
I'd love to just put a hockey team there now. You know?
Yeah, but see, I just don't think hockey would work because the Blues, man, they've got, you know, unless you're on in a season when they're not playing,
Yeah, but you don't have, it's a different price point. It's a different kind of, sell. And,
But
how did
if
it
you go
work
down
before?
though,
Because when
right
you were the
game,
stick boy,
oh
they were
yeah,
doing great. So
oh
how
yeah,
did it work then?
cheap tickets. I mean, there was no decision to make. It was either you can go to the Blues game for $20, or you can go to a River Otters game for $5 and just get in the door. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was like, I think it was at the time, it was like $5 to park and $5 tickets, so it was like, you're going to drive all the way downtown, spend all this money on parking, spend all this money at the game. And what was really good about the UHL was it was almost kind of, in no disrespect to the players, it was almost like a goon league. You were guaranteed 2 or 3 fights a night. Like, it was organized boxing on the ice. You know
What
what
I'm
I mean?
talking about. Let's go.
That was great, man. I got a good story there. I was 13, and I've always been a big boy. So came after school, was excited. I was working the visiting team or whatever, and I guess there was like food missing from their dressing room. And this, one goon guy was like, hey, fat boy, did you eat our food? And I was like, oh, no, sir, no, it wasn't me. Like, I didn't know what was going on. But dude, I went back to the River Otters locker room. I was just devastated, just upset, probably crying. Like, they called me fat over there. Our fighter was like, Blake, what's wrong? And I was just like, they're calling me fat over there. I got to work over there all night. And he's like, go get a number. So of course I went back over there, got a number, went back over, and he's like, all right, I want you to be on the bench at the start of the game. He went to the coach, told the coach, hey, I'm starting tonight. I got to take care of some business. Started. He grabbed the guy at the start of the puck drop, grabbed him, skated him over to right in front of me at the bench, and just starts meleeing this guy, just wailing on him. And in the fight, telling him to apologize to me, like holding him over. I mean, just going ham on this guy. And the coach of the visiting team is like throwing shit down at me, like throwing bottles, telling me to get out. So this year I won Stick Boy of the Year, but I was also suspended for a game for instigating a fight between dressing rooms.
How old were you at this point?
Dude, I was like 13. I was like a little Don King that night.
Oh, that's
dude,
awesome.
It was the best. It was the best. But
that's awesome.
Anyway, off subject there, but
no, that's cool though. I mean, but that's the cool part of you kind of growing up in that business too. And then I just remember it's like we're in the arena, and we started meeting because we're in there a lot, and it's like you were kind of like the only person that would like talk shit to me, like bust my balls. I'm like, who's this kid busting my balls? Like, I'm paying the arena. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And so it became it was fun. And I think good.
I was saying, so my mom actually, she was there working at the front office when I was 13. So I had been there since I was 13 all the way up till, at that time, I was 20, I guess. Yeah, 20-ish. No, I was older than that.
I was 13.
Say what?
7 years ago. Come on, man. Do the math.
Yeah.
How old are you now? 30?
32.
Shit, man, you're old.
Yeah. So anyway.
So you're in your mid-20s.
I knew everybody. I knew everybody. So it was like a walk-on baseball team for me to get the job kind of deal. But just so I knew I had a comfort level, they knew what they were getting with me as, being a character and all this stuff. So I felt comfortable with you, but we're also very similar personalities.
Yeah.
So, you were going to ask for the world and I was going to push back on it. But I think I gave you a hell of a lot more than anybody else did in that building as far as like, let's make things work. I wish they would.
The thing is, you know what? If I ask for something that you can do, you would do it. If it wasn't, you said no, and I was okay with that.
Yeah.
But like me, like I tell my kids, unless you ask, don't ever assume anything. So I'm going to ask for the world. I'm going to ask for whatever I think is going to help me be successful. And that was always kind of the struggles with some of the arena there. It's like, for example, and this is why I had this chip on the shoulder with the hockey team is, so we are in our meetings and we can't do any dollar dog nights, or we can't do any of these things because our fans are paying money.
Yeah.
But the hockey team has every damn Thursday is Thirsty Thursday and dollar popcorn and, even if you are burning the popcorn and the whole building stinks,
Man,
the
I
fire
knew that was
department gets called.
I knew
I
that
mean,
was
that
coming.
that's director material.
That's what you get when you've got to hire high school age kids, man. They don't care. They don't want to work. I'm
Dude,
burdening them by
that
making
was
them
you
work.
burning that popcorn.
Get out of town. Get out of town.
How
I
many
was out of
times
my
did the
office.
fire department have to come to that arena?
What else are they doing? They weren't doing anything. They were coming to check out a game. No, they came a lot, man. That was brutal. And then we got paid. We got to get charged that every time they come.
I don't know if there's anything worse than burnt popcorn smell. Like popcorn smell when you walk in the arena, it's like, oh, I want to get some popcorn. But when it's burnt.
Oh, yeah.
So you were kind of known as the burnt popcorn guy.
Yeah.
In our circle on the team side. That's what we would call you.
Fair.
It was good. I mean, you knew the fire department well.
Oh, yeah.
So how did you – let's talk about this road trip you took. I can't remember. I want to say it was in the winter because it was cold still. So it was probably early part of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, we went to Baltimore.
Yeah. So you drove with me, right?
Yeah, I rode with you and AJ.
Yeah. So me, you, and my son AJ, and Leah flew, and I think Natira flew, my daughter. And Leah's from Baltimore. You know, I'm from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which isn't too far. So we played
She's from Frederick Road.
Frederick Road, part of Baltimore. Yeah. How fun was that trip, though? I mean,
dude, it was great. It was like the guys on a trip, just having fun. We were just, I think I was challenged or whatever to like try to see how many of my friends I could get to like your page or whatever. I got to a number, like if I got your likes to a number or something, I was going to get something. I don't know. But dude, it was fun, man. That was a great trip. You covered everything, man, as if I was like a player, like hotel.
Where do we go eat? Because Leah and I were trying to remember. I thought we went to Fleming's.
We did.
And for steak, and Lloyd.
I had never been.
White Lightning, who was our athletic trainer, who was kind of part of our little clique. He got stuck at the hotel, but the rest of us went to Fleming's, and Blake got a free, $75 dinner.
Good. I got hooked up, man. You took good care of me. That was a fun trip. Are we gonna get into when we sent Zach home? Or you sent Zach home? Man, that was my roommate on the trip.
Were you on the bus
when you talked to everybody?
Yeah.
I think I recorded it for you.
All right. So kind of paint the picture. So, So we're in Baltimore, and we're playing the Baltimore Blast, indoor soccer, Baltimore Arena downtown. We have a kid, Zach. He works in the front office, and we had some fans make the road trip. And this is how it all started. After the game, they got into it. Yeah. And this was already like I think that was the game I was flipping out on the refs too. Was that?
Oh, that was every game, but yeah, that one was a big one. That was a bad one.
My favorite ref, Rich Grady. I
think he threw water at him. Sprayed water at him.
I don't know if I did in Baltimore. At St. Louis, I did though. He and I had a fun history. But yeah, so I'm yelling at the refs because our guys are just getting abused there, and Baltimore's kicking our ass, and our team sucked that year, wins and losses. And so I think our season ticket holders and Zach, our staff, got into an altercation right after I'm done yelling at the refs, to the point where they had to be separated. And so we kind of separated the stuff, and
it was over passion though. Like they got into it over.
It was like something stupid, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was so real stupid. But I think he like dropped a couple F-bombs with them or whatever.
Right. And it was in public around fans.
Oh yeah. And the season ticket holders he got into it with, they like giving it back for. They're scrappy. They're good friends with Brian Roth, who if you got
they're shit talkers.
Who extremely passionate, and then you got Brian Roth extremely passionate. You got the season ticket holders passionate. They all got different viewpoints. I mean, it was just melee of viewpoints and passion. And Zach went out of his comfort zone there and went a little crazy on the guys. And
that's where we
had
went
to set an example.
I think we went to Fleming's after that.
Yeah.
Game, and then we kind of laid low. And then the next day, there was the soccer convention was going on in Philly, coaches clinic or coaches convention. And then we played in Reading, Pennsylvania that next night. So we go to Philly, and I'm fuming about this anyway. And I was a little hot-headed back then too, more so than now. But I'm I don't know if I would call myself cheap. Maybe like cheap in certain things. Like I'm
No.
budget conscious, you know?
I mean, you have to be in the industry you're in, man. I don't think that's a knock, but you didn't want to do it. That was the thing. Like, you kind of put me under your wing. You put Zach under your wing. You had Brian doing his own thing. So credit to you. You know, you took two young kids that are, you know, I was a kid, you know, in charge of some shit at an arena on a road trip, and Zach was working for you.
You were working the damn bench. I mean, you were like a stick boy again.
I should have been paid that night. I should have been paid.
Whoa. Now you're getting out of control. It was life experience is what I like to say. For
sure. But I remember you being pretty upset about like what you wanted to do. You didn't want to do it, but you knew you had to do something to make a point because he was working for you directly.
And it wasn't the first time. So, but you know, it was one of those things. So we get to Philly. I meet him he's on the bus by himself, and I basically fire him there. And I bought him a plane ticket, which, man, that hurt, spending a couple $100. I was like, damn it. He's on the bus. He really wanted to stay because he had family coming to the Reading game. But the thing is, once I make a decision, there's no like, it's not a negotiation. It's just like, hey, got to do it. Move on. Yeah. Best of luck. The bus driver dropped him off at the airport.
Yeah.
So he got a ride. I paid for his flight. He was a little pissy because the flight was like later that night or something, but you know, hey. And then I had a talk with the team, and this was probably one of my best speeches ever. That was a total fail. I mean, our team was bitching and moaning because they weren't making as much money as like, you know, the Baltimore Blast or something. Right. And we had won, I don't even know at that point, but we only won 4 games total that season out of, I want to say 24. So we might've been 4-20 or 4-16, however it ended up being. And, I had that talk with the team. It was the day before the Reading game, and I was like, man, I feel good. This is going to be good. And I thought everybody, you know, was motivated. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe did I call them baby bitches or something at some point? I think that was one of my words back then. Yeah. So it wasn't all positive, but
no.
We do have video somewhere, which we should post that to YouTube sometime. But the next game, I also owned that team in Reading, and we go there, and the Reading team already hates me because it's like, you know, when you're, you know, which kid do you choose, Blake?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so they feel like I chose the St. Louis team as my favorite baby.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was living there working it, but, I just want them both to do well. But anyway, so they have this rift with me because, you know, St. Louis has 6,000, 5,000 fans, and, you know, Reading sucked. And then St. Louis, I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but they went out and we got shut out that game. And it was like a total ass beating, like not even remotely close. It was like, I don't know. I forget what it was, but it was a lot. And it was Reading's first win.
Yeah.
And only win of the season.
Yeah.
And I got accused of fixing the game, and which I always laugh at. I'm like, first of all, what player is gonna, first of all, I'm not paying somebody to throw a game. I barely wanted to pay this guy's plane ticket, you know, home when I fired him. So I'm not doing any of that, but I always thought that was kind of funny, but that was a fun road trip up until that point.
Yeah, I still talk with Zach. You know, he still carries that same passion. He's a good dude. We've gone to some like wrestling things like that.
He's got good passion. I
He does.
remember earlier on in that season, I took a road trip with the team because we were in St. Louis and we had to go play Syracuse and Rochester.
Yeah.
Well, I made our guys bus it. I'm such a great owner, huh? So we bust to Syracuse. So they're all bitching about it. So I'm like, all right, I'll ride the bus too.
Yeah.
So I rode it. My son AJ, I sent Zach to do laundry and stuff like that. And we're in Syracuse, and you know, AJ wants to be in the mix of everything and thinks he's grown at, you know, whatever he was then.
Oh yeah.
He was in maybe going into middle school. So Zach puts him in goal and just starts lighting him up.
Yeah, he
like,
him up.
And so yeah, I just remember, you know, and you know, AJ was a big mama's boy. So
For sure.
you know, Mama Bear's ready to protect.
Yeah.
And so yeah, Leah was.
I mean, I don't know necessarily mean it was for AJ being a mama's boy, but Leah, on the other hand, she had eyes on that boy 24/7. And if she thought you from across the way did him wrong, she was ready to scrap.
She would go back to our Baltimore days. I mean, that's the thing.
Frederick Road.
Frederick
ready to go.
I was there. I think every time I passed that exit on 695 in Baltimore, I think I send you a text of like, hey, look.
For
sure. did we take you to the Pit Beef place too?
Oh,
because I take everybody there.
That was incredible.
Yeah, that
which
Pit Beef
is
place.
Like total dive place.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh whoa, what? Well, I don't know if I want to eat this, but man, I'm glad.
We've been married
there just for that.
23 years. All right, that place has been there since we were dating, and the same people work in it.
That's crazy.
It's right by Security Mall. I think it's like Pioneer Pit Beef or something. It's good. Now, did we go to Hershey with you or no?
No, we just
did. All right, that was a road trip the following year with Kevin and Dylan and those guys.
Yeah.
But the ride home probably sucked. But I mean, it was fun. Back. It was cool to take you along. I mean, like I said, you helped. You were working the benches at the game. Oh, yeah. So I mean, you know, basically, I got some free labor for a couple $100 of food.
You took care of me. That's for sure. It was the least I could do. We had a fun time though, even with the losses though. I mean, we had a blast all the way back. I think you sent the bus straight back. You were like, no stops. I know we had a hotel somewhere, but I think you were like, no stops, straight back.
Sleep on the bus.
Yep.
Did you go to Kansas City with us at all?
A couple times.
Yeah.
A couple times I went over there.
We'd always get a suite usually over there, which was good.
Yeah.
How was White Lightning? Was that one of the best athletic trainers you've ever met?
Lloyd's the best, man.
Have you talked to him at all lately? You haven't connected with him on social media or anything?
Every now and then I'll see you guys do stuff, but like nothing like I should, man. He was a good dude. Remember that pull-up doll that looked just like him? You put him.
Oh my God! It was
him.
It was a mini version of Lloyd, this blow-up doll that I got from Spencer's.
Yeah.
And it all started. I was at a St. Charles Chill game because I like to support the local team.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
the truth is you were doing some recon just so you could rub dirt in everyone's face on the Tuesday or Monday meeting.
No, really, it was because Mark, the building GM at the time, let me eat free at the club. So that was back when we had like a really nice spread in the club, which no wonder you don't do it anymore. I don't know how the hell you guys made money. I mean, it was like $20 for like prime rib and like all you could eat. Like it was nice. So I would always go there. And I remember I'm up there stuffing my face like I usually do. You know,
you did something to me though. I didn't just come out of the woodwork with this. You did something to me.
What did I do?
I don't remember. You were messing with me somehow because this was a stepped up plan here.
This I should have contacted the St. Charles, police department. So I'm up in this club area eating, and Blake comes up just to bullshit. Hey, how's it going? And of course, I'm probably going back for my second or third plate, and Blake disappears. And then all of a sudden, I get an alert on my phone, and it's like a a tweet, and I see that my Hummer, my H2, he's got like snow up past the window. And Blake takes my keys out of my jacket from the club area, goes out, steals my, I don't even know how the hell you found my car because I parked in the front that day.
Yeah.
You did. You drive the car around back, and then you just have the Zamboni drop the shavings in front, so I couldn't get in my doors.
Yeah, it was like the pre-skate ice. I told him what I was gonna do. I said, "Hey, I need you to mound it up."
Premeditated big time.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Then I backed up the Hummer, and then I knew they were cleaning the ice again. They were gonna dump more, so then I pushed it towards the doors to basically just bury your Hummer in ice.
The best part would have been is if you would have recorded me crawling through my window to get in the car.
That is true. That is true. You moved pretty quick to get backstage, downstairs, and out to where the Hummer was.
That was definitely crossing the line. Nobody drives my car. You probably banged it up driving it,
No.
with the 10 cars in the parking lot from that game.
I should have backed out, but I think I went over the curb. But it was a Hummer. It was fine.
It's meant to do that.
Yeah.
But that is what really started. That really started our fun little war, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And then you really were, you were really protective of your stuff after that point, because you knew.
I knew I had trouble coming.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember how, but somehow we got keys to your office.
Yep.
And we put posters up. The Lloyd lookalike blow up doll. Yeah, and
I think you put a bumper sticker on my car that said like "I'm as straight as a country road" or something.
It was something. I think it might. I don't remember what it was, but people were honking
at me for sure.
I think it was, yeah. So that was interesting, and you didn't see that one for a little while, which was great.
Like days.
Because it was like on the opposite side of the car.
Yeah, days.
Yeah,
that was great.
That was good. I remember I had the players help me you had like this leather sofa in your office.
Yeah.
And we took that and put it in our locker room. And then we returned the favor. We put some tweets out, and that was a fun season, for just craziness like that. What's kind of the craziest thing you think I've done in like our meetings or anything like that? Because we would have those meetings every week with like the whole arena staff. You remember any of the crazy ones?
Oh yeah, I think when you and Tim got into it and like you stormed out, that was a good one.
That was. I don't even remember what it was. Too. It was something. I think because he had like some sort of attitude or something like that.
He had a straight up Zach moment, and was like, because you rented the building from the arena, so you were a customer, even though you were like kind of one of us because you were always there, and like we had that comfort level with you. But I think he had a Zach moment and used not so nice of words to address you, and you were like, "No, this ain't gonna fly."
And maybe it was because
you were angry. You were like, "I want him fired."
Is he still there? Probably.
Of course, yeah.
Oh my God,
he's still there.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
He's
amazing.
Too good
of a chef. He can do and say what he wants, man. When you cook good and feed everybody on front, you're golden.
Yeah, but it's like, gosh. I mean, I looked at.
We did ice bucket challenges. That was fun. When the ALS stuff was going, that was fun.
I looked at taking over the arena at one point. I was in talks with the county about that. I put together a whole plan and proposal to them, and then what do you know? They start implementing my proposal, which
wrote a business plan for them.
I would have did a little bit more than what they did, but a lot of dead weight. I mean, if you look at it, it's like, man, those facilities, and it's not just that one. A lot of them, it's like the mindset. Like I think I probably gravitated towards you because you actually were a worker. Like you would do whatever it took, as opposed to a lot of people where it's a government job. Like, hey, let's just not ruffle the feathers and I'll work here forever and collect this easy money. And it's crazy.
Yeah, I had a lot of passion. I wanted to see that place do well and succeed, and I still wish them the best. You know, I got a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in that building. So
I do too.
It was hard for me to leave, but being married and having kids and all that stuff, like it's so nice to have weekends off and be around them. You know, it definitely having kids puts a whole different perspective into the ball game of priorities and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
well, that's good. You had the drive though, just career wise too. Like you could see that, which was cool. You know, because you want to.
Did a lot of moves around there. I took over different departments. Like I was kind of like the cleanup crew. They'd move you to this department and take over another department, and it was fun. The end goal was to eventually run the place. That was what I wanted. That was what I wanted to do.
Well, maybe I'll buy the thing eventually, and then I'll put you in there as the stick boy.
Hey, I'll start at the ground again.
I did. I don't know. You saw an article about, the arena considering selling.
Yeah, that was actually
years ago. What, 2 years ago? A year ago?
Yeah. That was actually when I saw that article come out. That was it for me. That was like, I got to get out of here.
It'll be difficult to sell because of the amount of money. You know, I mean the county owes a lot still too. So
I don't think people or fans really realize how important it is to support venues like that. Go to those games. It's tough, man. It's a lot of money to put ice in a facility and keep it cold on the ground, and you know what I mean. Like it is tough. There's a lot of financial burden that falls on it that gets transferred to the customers like yourself that own teams and things like that, where then you guys have to sell tickets and put people in seats to make money, things like that. It's a grind that people don't really understand.
It's huge, and a lot of people don't realize. I mean, most facilities like that lose money, and it's not, I mean, there's only so much you could do, but I mean, it's definitely a great thing for the community. They're community assets, and a family can go to a concert or the sporting events there for a fraction of going downtown St. Louis, or the high schools do graduation there, which I thought was kind of cool. Is that Natira graduated at Family Arena, which we've spent so many days and nights there. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I grew up there, man. That's where I graduated. I got to walk there. It meant a lot. There's a lot of memories there for sure.
Any upgrades there since I left?
I was doing some painting projects. I was doing some trade. I learned to trade out services from one of the best in the world.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Absolutely.
You learned something?
Oh, absolutely, man. I
like to trade, man. Let's barter all day long. It's like, why the hell hasn't that been done sooner? I mean, we could have done so much. I do remember, I think it was you that started, kind of covering a lot of the concrete up.
Yeah.
Just with graphics and
graphics.
Different stuff.
That was something that I wanted to do. That was a project that I saw that we kind of neglected as far as sponsorship and signage and all that stuff. And I was like, hey, let's add this hat to my arsenal already. Like, I want to take on the sponsorship of the arena and trying to sell the box office naming rights and the naming rights of the building and, just the sponsorships around the building. I mean, we had stuff that was like so outdated, like US Cellular, trash companies, things like that.
These companies aren't even in business.
No, and they hadn't been for years.
Well, I remember when we went to Reading, I think that's where you had kind of that aha moment.
Absolutely.
Because I think it's called the Santander Arena now. It was the Sovereign Center and some other stuff, but they had done a really good job of selling advertising and dressing the arena up. And I remember when you went back, because you had brought that
I took a ton from that trip. That not only was it just a fun trip, it was a great career trip for me, because I was like, I see where the arena that I was working at is, where it could go to a same place that's down, outskirts. Even Baltimore's small arena had a great sponsorship presence and all that stuff. I learned a lot on that trip, and things to this day I apply it to.
Yeah. So you're welcome.
Thank you.
Let's ask a couple of questions, see if you remember my favorite movie.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I know it. It's got Will Ferrell. It's the basketball movie. God, what is the name of it?
Oh, come on. You can't remember the name?
I'm drawing a blank. Oh my God. It's
You lost
Jackie
already.
Moon.
I know, Jackie Moon. Come on.
Everyone loved everybody.
ELE.
E-L-E. Oh my God. What is it? It's the Tropic.
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro.
Okay.
Yes. Jeez, I was drawing a blank there.
All right. How about my favorite alcoholic beverage?
Kamikaze.
Oh, that was an easy one. Come on.
That was easy.
Have you tried a kamikaze?
I every now and then I like them as a shot.
Yeah. Well, when you get older.
Originally.
Yeah. I mean, that's when I was in my 20s. Yeah. But now I like it on the rocks because I can just sit there and.
God, re-quoted Semi-Pro so much.
Was that not did you ever watch that movie with me?
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Like, I'm just not a movie guy, but that one's got some great quotes.
Did I think I told you, but when I traded Corey Adamson from St. Louis to Milwaukee, we got Stephon St. Louis. I want to say we got we got Anthony Arrico.
Yeah.
And then I think 1,500 cash and steak dinner at Carnivores up in Milwaukee. And Carnivores is like, I don't know. I've only been there once, but Leah and I went there. We took Brian Roth because he was on the trip. My kids were like, "No, we're going to stay at the hotel." They got like Papa John's. They were so pissed.
Right.
Brian got the best steak of his life. Leah got this filet. It might have been like a 4-ounce filet. It was almost $200. And it was the best filet. It was like unreal. And it had like a little certificate to all its history and all this bullshit.
The cow's name.
I mean, the cow had been taken care of better than me. And
yeah,
it was damn good. And so I did trade a player for that. I've traded a player for like post-game meals before.
Yeah. But Adamson, though, he was, I mean, you took like your like star player at the time. Like that was.
How crazy was that?
That was a big shakeup. Like that was a big one. I think, did you have Gordy at that time? I think you had just gotten Gordy.
Yes, I had Gordy.
Yeah. So then you traded Adamson, and Adamson was a fan favorite. I mean,
number one. I legit got bashed on Twitter. These like middle school girls that were in love with him, like legit were bashing me.
Yeah. He was a good guy though, because he was always good like on TV when you got him to do media spots, things like that. That was I couldn't believe when you did that one. That one was a wild one.
When I traded him.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, and I think it was good. I think, I don't know if you saw, but I kind of helped out the league and became the GM down here when the owner kind of left town.
Yeah.
And I brought Adamson in. I traded for Adamson.
Yeah.
So he became a player coach down here in Orlando. And it's just kind of cool. I remember signing him from the tryout, just like he was that open tryout guy. I remember him crying when I said I was going to sign him. I mean, it was like $500 a month or something, like whatever my minimum was that year. But like he was so happy because like a year prior he was living in his car, and it was really cool. And it's just kind of cool to see like now he's, I've known him, almost 10 years. He's one of those guys that really listened to advice as far as like make your money outside of playing. Like, let me show you how to do that. And now he has a solid career. He owns multiple homes. He's married.
I think he's a part of a big soccer club here in St. Louis now.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah,
like,
it was
doing really well.
PAO, and they just switched.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
But
it's cool though to see all those people like kind of like from. I mean, it's not that long ago, but it seems like it was forever.
Yeah.
And you start looking and you see how much people have grown, since then. My biggest regret in business, I've said this, is selling the ambush.
Yeah.
I really wish I wouldn't have. I sold it because I really enjoy Florida. Like, that is Florida, or however you always bust my balls about that.
Can't
Am I saying it better? Florida.
Florida.
So it's like, I really loved it. We had talked when we moved up there, hey, when Natira graduates high school, our goal is to be back. And, I felt like the team could operate with me not there. But I mean, it's really kind of gone down, in my opinion. I mean, I think, Shelly's done a good job. I think, St. Louis FC and other factors have helped kind of trend downwards, but it was, it's my biggest regret selling that. I wish I wouldn't have. I hope I can hit like the Powerball or Mega Millions and just buy it back. And, cause that is the one area, like my family has said, like AJ and Leah, they're like, we'd live in St. Louis. We enjoyed it. And like, to be honest, we met some awesome people there. I mean, you and everyone else from the area there that, I mean,
we had fun.
Yeah. I mean, did you ever go out with us with Erica Land from the St. Charles Library Foundation? She had the real loud laugh.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe she had one of your barbecues.
I don't know.
To those.
That one time it was pretty fun when we went out somewhere close to my house.
Yeah, it was right down the street.
I just know my leg was bleeding the next day. Natira always talks about that. She's like, Blake came in my room and woke me up.
I was torched. Yeah, I think Leah was telling me not to do it, so therefore it was do it.
Yeah. Well, maybe Natira didn't even have a door at that time because she was missing her door to her room for a good 6 months to a year. So we always joke about that because we are like the total opposite with AJ.
Oh yeah, so strict.
It's like
so strict on Natira. Natira couldn't look at a soccer player. Like the rest of the family could watch the field. Poor Natira had to look this way. She had to count the fans because any boys, she was not allowed.
It's so funny because she just, she lives in Tampa now and she's out on her own. But like, we're always like, I'll always just bust her shit about that. I'd be like, just bought AJ a new gaming PC, and I said it's a lot cheaper with just one kid.
Oh yeah.
And he can do whatever he wants, whatever. Yeah, you got a girlfriend, cool.
Yeah.
So we were a little tough on her, but the kids always are asking about you. So you guys need to, come down and visit us in Florida. We got a nice 6-bedroom house. So I'll rent you a room for, a couple nights.
Well, I'm free. My family's got to pay.
Yeah. Now you got these crying kids and stuff. Nah.
No, we're gonna wait till they're a little older before we make a trek to Florida. I think because they're 2 and 1. So
you know what I always see? You go to Universal or Disney. If you're there about 2:00, all you see is a bunch of kids crying.
Oh yeah.
It is the most miserable thing in the world. Like, so I would definitely.
You're spending a ton of money.
Oh yeah.
A ton of money to
like
go.
Over $100 a person per day.
Oh yeah.
Disney. So that's.
But no, dude, I'd love to. I'd love to see you back in St. Louis. I'd love to see you hit that lotto and buy the team back.
No, I thought about, was there another team I could put? That's why I said I looked at a hockey team.
I think we talked about like a lacrosse team too at one time.
Yeah.
Lacrosse is growing really well, doing well. That would be cool. I just don't know how you would do it indoor.
Do you think, I saw that they're trying to do like roller hockey in there. You think that has fan support? I don't know, used to, I guess.
St. Louis has a really, really great youth hockey program and system and all that. So I don't know. I hope it does well. I hope it does well for the arena and St. Charles. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I never played it, so.
How's that other arena that they built? The one that Greg works at?
Doing good. They've got, that's where the Blues practice and all that. So, there's just, if you could build an ice rink, man, you'd book it up forever.
Yeah, that looks like a nice facility.
So many teams and not enough pads of ice.
I know Family Arena is like, they really don't want probably the aggravation of a hockey team there.
Yeah, it's just expensive to run the ice plant, and it's aging. Equipment from, that place was built in 2000, I think it was 99, 2000. So it's the original, like the arena was built around that plant. So they have to break it down to get it out the door. So
how did basketball do there back in the day?
I always think it's silly that St. Louis doesn't have an NBA team, but anytime we've had NBA or anytime we've had basketball through there, it's just not really done
even
well.
When it was in the Family Arena. I mean, not when we were there, that Lloyd and I, we would always go to those basketball games. You remember that? I don't even know. Brutal. There was 20 people, maybe.
Yeah. Before that, when I was working, when I was 13, there was a basketball team there called the Swarm. They did really well. They had a really nice buzz of tension there from the crowd and all that. They had a great following.
Any other great stories that I missed?
Oh, man, that would have to be a whole other section, a whole other time to talk about the stories of the artist and, backstage. Let me know when you're ready for that one.
Were you the one responsible? I remember seeing national news. Elephant busts out the back door of the arena and smashes cars.
Dude,
was that you?
I wasn't responsible for them getting out, but I was responsible for them coming back because they came to me and they're like, we need candy, pretzel bites, popcorn, whatever you can give us.
Some Skittles.
We need it right now because they literally like that Family Guy skit where they were like, ooh, piece of candy, literally dropping candy all the way back to the arena to get the elephants. Yeah, so what happened was the Shrine put on the circus. I'll speed this one up, but they started the intermission a little too early as the elephants were leaving the floor. And right as they hit underneath the seats, they started getting the crowd stomping their feet. And so that echo hit them right in the ears, basically, from underneath the feet stomping of the grandstands. And it spooked them and took them. I mean, they took the garage door off. They blew out the door.
It was national news.
Oh yeah, we made Jimmy Fallon reference of that stuff. It was awesome. Absolutely scary and terrifying because I had employees around there. My warehouse was right there.
Yeah.
I had a guy that was like, "Hey, my mom called me. I got to call her." So he stepped out to call his mom or whatever. All I hear is just the ground just shaking like an earthquake. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And they're like, the elephants are running away. And I'm like, oh my God, Tony's outside on the phone right where he's at. Or right where they're running. So, dude, it was scary. But no one got hurt, just damaged vehicles and things like that. But no one got hurt, and we're so thankful because there was no stopping these guys. It's kind of a sad story, but they ran because that show was supposed to be so busy that night. They parked the elephant trailer on the back parking lot, so they ran to their house basically. That's where they were safe, was their house. So they ran to their trailer on the very back part of the parking lot to get away, and then we lured them back in because they had to go give rides.
Wow. But, come back in here, you elephant.
Yeah, you're not done.
I just know when they were there, it's like your office smelt the best ever. Usually it's really bad.
Tiger.
Those that was good.
I was around for months.
What other cool events or things like that have you seen there?
Just working for some of the biggest artists, working, Stevie Nicks came through there, Alan Jackson, things like that. They've put on some really good shows that people don't really realize that the arena is actually hosted. I was watching something this weekend. It was an infomercial or whatever of Music Hall of Fame people. And I'm like, wow, worked for them. It was really cool.
You could throw me in that mix too.
You weren't on that infomercial.
I was. Wait, what? That's probably low level type stuff. That's what that is.
The best of Andrew Haines.
Yes, I mean, come on. Yeah. Got my own show now. I mean, come on.
I gotta give you props, man. I really, really am proud. One, to call you a friend, but two, to just see you being successful outside of the sports industry, and doing the free agent Fridays, man. Like this industry it's awesome. It's great. People like me all over the country have these unbelievable stories that if we could just get pen to paper and we'd have best-selling books.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it is it's really cool and really special what you're doing for those people that are in the industry looking to make a name for themselves and getting that opportunity to put that out there. So keep doing what you're doing, brother. And from an industry standpoint, thanks for what you're doing for those people.
Yeah, no, appreciate it. It's been fun. So hopefully, if you ever need to hire some people, take a look at those videos. There's definitely some good people out there. It sucks because they're out of work and it's no fault of their own. It's one thing if you get a job and you just suck and you get fired, or you're an asshole. But these are good people. These are people that we're doing a good job. And so hopefully, my goal was to do one a week. And the amount of people that have, messaged me, it's like, man, I can't just do one a week. I got to do more. And it's kind of just taken on a life of its own. And it's definitely been rewarding just, trying to help people. And it was something that I was just like, hey, this will be, something nice to do. And turned out, man, okay. And then I get messages from people looking to hire people, and all the encouragement that they send over, like, hey, this is great. This has helped me. I've looked at a couple of the people, and those things really help just motivate me to do it more. And, trying to get as creative as I can to, use this time. It's like, I started the podcast because I was bored.
Yeah.
I was working for the baseball team up in Virginia, and with COVID, we're still selling, still managing a team, but it's like, it just wasn't challenging me. And this podcast, it really, it challenges me. It's totally outside my comfort zone. As much of a, a personality and, showman as I am, it's a little uncomfortable, and they're getting a little bit less uncomfortable and awkward, but still I'm not good at it. But I like to share, like these conversations, these memories with, everybody else. And then I'm meeting some new people as well, trying to educate myself more and more. So hopefully, I can put myself in a position, my ultimate goal still is to be the president of a major league sports team. Yeah. So I'm running out of time. I'm getting old. You know what I mean?
No, I think, and kudos to you, man. And it's something that I definitely think I picked up from hanging out with you. Was I think there was a lot of people that helped you get where you were. Not only just yourself though. You were a driver from the get go. I know your story from you were a kid and just driving. It was go. I'm going to do this, and you did it. But I think you had a lot of people that you knew that helped you along the way. That in turn you've given back to people like me, Zach. These people on podcasts, things like that. So I think it's a credit to people in the industry that, one, it's a really hard industry to get into, but you can be really successful in it. But you got to network like crazy. You never burn a bridge, and give back when you can.
Yeah. And I think that's why you see so many people in the industry, like, willing to help each other. And the way I look at it is I look at, like someone like yourself, you were in your early to mid 20s when we met. I could see the drive. So like for me, it's like, man, it's been great to watch you progress in your career and family and all that kind of stuff. And same thing with some of the other guys. I don't know if you remember, like Ryan Sweet.
Yep.
Who worked with us in St. Louis. I brought him down to Florida with me for the tropics, and now he's with the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a bunch of stories like that. And it's just cool. That's the rewarding part for me, is to see everybody continue to develop and then just follow. It's like you have this huge network now of people you've worked with or have known over the years, and it's kind of cool. And when you live in Florida, it's like people will come visit you because it's Florida. Yeah. So
absolutely.
So, but no, man, I appreciate you joining me, sharing some of these crazy stories. I mean, if you weren't there, it's hard to believe some of it. I mean, we didn't even get into me, throwing water on refs and stuff like that. We'll definitely have to recap on that at some point. But no, we had a lot of fun. But that was, in my opinion, and I think my family feels the same, that was some of our our best times just with people.
Yeah.
You know, because we had you, Lloyd, like, the front off, like Brian, as crazy as he is, like,
Yeah.
you
That's what
know,
life's about, though, man. It's not
Sabrina
always
and
about
those
money.
guys, and
Yeah. She still cuts my hair.
does she really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell her we said
But no,
hi.
that's absolutely that's what it's about, though. Just having a good time and making the most of it and just enjoying life. And that's what we did. We had a really good fun run.
Yeah, well, let's do this again soon. But
Anytime you
man,
need
thanks
somebody,
again. I'm glad you
I got stories for you.
responded yes.
Oh, hell yeah. Anytime, man.